Welcome to Mosaic Arts Online. I'm Tammy McCullough. I would love to introduce to you a very talented artist and instructor, Arianna Gallo of KoKo Mosaico. We are so grateful to be here in Ravenna, Italy at the KoKo Mosaico studio. Filming Arianna's course here has added an extra special energy that we wouldn't have had otherwise. We are in the country where the glass is made and where for thousands of years artisans have been creating mosaic art in this city. And now we are thrilled to share Arianna's latest course, Crazy Opus.
Thank you very much, Tammy. It's a pleasure to have you here in Ravenna, in KoKo Mosaico, in my studio, so far away from where you live. It's a special honor, and I'm very happy to share my technique, my Opus Crazy technique with you.
Yes. So let's get started and talk about this new course. And how did it all get started?
So it started, I started to use this technique more or less 7 years ago, thanks to my sister, Anita Pilotti, because she attended the Scuola Mosaicisti del Friuli, which is the Spilimbergo Mosaic School. It's a very well-known school of mosaic in northeast of Italy, in Friuli Venezia Giulia. And the school, it's a specific school for mosaic that lasts 3 years. And so my sister learned this technique the third year. The third year is the year where they experiment more in contemporary technique. And so of course, my sister Anita works here with me in KoKo Mosaico, and in these last 7 years, let's say, we experiment with this technique. And of course, we changed it a little bit in order to create something very special, a mix of Ravenna's and Spilimbergo technique.
Yes, and this technique does take on a unique approach, as you can see in this piece here. And while traditional mosaic art usually focuses on andamento, which are the lines that create flow and movement, in this course you are creating and sharing with these students a non-andamento approach. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Sure. In fact, if you look to this mosaic, you can't see andamento. So this is exactly a non-andamento technique, and we can say that is a texture. And there is a nice term that we use in Italian, which is opus. Opus is a Latin word that means work. And it's used in Italian in order to recognize various types of mosaic floors. For example, opus tessellatum, opus spicatum, opus vermiculatum, opus sectile, and so on. There are a lot of these different kind of mosaic floors, and I wanted to use this term opus because I really like it, and I think that is a nice combination of an ancient word and a new word, a contemporary word like crazy, even because you can't find lines, and so it's a nice exercise, nice technique.
Yes. And let's clarify that this opus that we are calling Crazy, which you will not find in any books, but you will find what Arianna does share a little bit about the different types of opus that there are. But there are two components to this course. So you're going to learn the Crazy Opus, which is laying the tesserae down. But talk a little bit about the other part of this course, which is the gradation, which is a whole other thing that you're sharing.
Exactly. So in this technique with the Crazy Opus, you can learn how to do nice gradation from light to dark or vice versa, and it's a very useful technique in order to have nice gradation, even when you work in small size. You don't need big size, and you don't even need really hundreds of different tones of the same gradation, because by mixing colors in a specific part of the mosaic, so intermixing the colors, you will have a beautiful gradation. And of course we will break down all the steps in order to give a very good and nice gradation.
Yes, and explain how they don't have to use Italian smalti only. There is Mexican in this, and tell them a little bit about how the Mexican works differently than Italian.
Yeah, sure. So recently I found that smalti Mexican smalti are very nice combined with the Italian smalti. They are similar, and the Mexican smalti sometimes has also a nice, interesting crust. Some of the Italian does as well, and even if they have a different thickness sometimes, it doesn't matter, because we are going to cut those material in order to be nice together.
Yeah, and so maybe you can talk a little bit about that, about the cutting. That is a big component to this course, and how important it is to cut your pieces before you start.
Yeah, absolutely, because this technique looks like a random technique, but it has very important rules. One of the rules is the size and the shape of the tessera. And so in this course we are going to explore which are the perfect size and the perfect shape, and we are going to cut those shapes together.
And do you have to use a hammer and hardy, or is wheeled nippers okay?
Wheel nippers are okay, and of course if you prefer to work with your hammer and hardy, you can use the hammer and hardy. In this course, during the filming, I used just the wheeled nippers.
Yeah. And then you've added a little extra something to this course. It's not just the Crazy Opus. You added a little focal point. So share a little bit about how that gives a little bit more to the piece when someone creates.
Yeah. So for example, this technique is perfect if you want to do an abstract. So like a nice gradation that goes through even different colors, not just the different tones of one color. And but it's very nice to use this technique as a background, like I did in this mosaic for this course. And so I like to give a point of view, an attention to these two balloons, to these two balloons, in order to give an atmosphere, let's say. So you can use it in both as a background if you have a figure in your mosaic, or you can use it as it is, like a nice abstract gradation.
And one of the other elements that's very important in this course is tinting the thin set and making the bed really, specific thickness. So share a little bit about that, how people are going to learn how to place their tessera in this type of thin set.
Sure. So the technique that we are going to use is the direct technique onto thin set, onto a permanent frame, which is in this case a wooden frame. And we are going to work in sections. So not in just one entire piece, but the most important thing of this technique is that I like to tint with pigments my thin set, because since we are not going to work in a using the traditional lines, which are the andamentos, and we are going to place the pieces with specific rotation, so we are going to see a lot the thin set in between the gaps, in between our tessera. That's why I like to color the thin set, because even through the color of the thin set you can give a certain atmosphere to your mosaic, and even the thin set is a part of this technique. It's an important part.
Yes, and Arianna gives a PDF in this course that gives you all of the resources of where to find the pigments, the glass, the tools, and everything. So you will watch her work in real time as she creates this entire mosaic, which is really incredible and fun. And it is a really great course. It's great for beginners or people that have been experiencing mosaic art for a long time. And is there anything else you want to add to our intro here?
So for me, this technique is a fun. It's a fun because a lot of colors are involved. It's a challenge also because even if you don't have all the gradation, it's even more interesting because by mixing and intermix the colors, you are going to achieve a very nice result and a lot of satisfaction. So I'm sure that you are going to have fun, and I can't wait to see your mosaics with this technique. Have fun.
Thank you so much, Arianna, for bringing this course to Mosaic Arts Online. I know our students are going to love it, and I can't wait to get back to my studio to create one.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.